Yeah, have you noticed this? This is the most common color scheme on pretty much every Rubik's Cube ever made, right? Especially ones used in competition. And it doesn't match the WCA official logo. So this is the Western color scheme, and this, well, isn't. So what's the reasoning? It's really interesting actually. So the WCA logo was designed by Justin Eastman in a design competition in 2005. When the logo was introduced, the WCA was an informal group with a website not associated with the brand Rubik's in any way, and they didn't want to have any possible legal troubles with Rubik's. Some people wrongly believe the color scheme is due to the Japanese color scheme, used on some cubes made in Japan back in the day, and they're still used now by Japanese speed cubers. This, however, was disproven by the WCA in 2006 when they announced the logo is simply to avoid copyright infringement. Yes, the Japanese color scheme matches up here, but that's not the reasoning for this color scheme. To further cover their claim, it was also announced by the WCA that the logo wasn't a cube, but a colored hexagon, even though it was clearly meant to represent the World Cube Association. They just didn't want to admit that just to, keep out of legal trouble. The Rubik's Cube patent lapsed in 2000, meaning that all kinds of manufacturers could make their own types of 3x3s, 2x2s, any sort of thing. The Rubik's trademark didn't. The WCA wanted a logo that in no way infringed on the Rubik's trademark. So they picked colours that were not used on the Rubik's Cubes and a colour scheme that was not on either the Rubik's Western or the Japanese colour scheme, because the logo still displays the configuration of the Western scheme in the outside circle surrounding the logo. So as you can see on the logo, we have red opposite orange, blue opposite green, and white opposite yellow, which is not what the Japanese colour scheme is. So the cube in the middle, or the hexagon, is not the Japanese colour scheme. So even though this was just a logo, in no way could this be taken as a copy or replica of any kind of Rubik's Cube. It was common back then for any non-Rubik's brand cubes to have a purple side of stickers instead of orange, purely for this reason. In 2012, 7 towns began a copyright infringement claim on Diane for their colour scheme. The Diane cube was regarded as a knockoff version of the Rubik's Cube back then because there weren't as many cube manufacturers, and this one was simply one of the first that was considered a knockoff. The claim was that the clockwise configuration of the red, white and blue stickers represented the copyrighted image of Rubik's. At the time of the lawsuit, there were even reports that huge amounts of Diane cubes were seized and broken at customs. In order to prevent further issues, a lot of companies took down similar puzzles from their sites and sold DIY kits in order to prevent more issues. So they'd sell the stickers and you could put them on however you want, meaning that most people would have put them on the Western or Japanese color scheme, but they weren't selling it that way. So it seemed like the WCA may have dodged a lot of issues with this. The thing is that there's no real official color scheme used in competitions anyway, and competitors can use whatever colors they want in any order they want, as long as they use different enough colors on each side, which is up to the delegate on the day. So if you really want the logo fixed, I did it. Here we are. A modern WCA logo with the Western color scheme that they will, for obvious reasons, never use.